Thick Descriptions disrupts traditional educational methods. And why do we do that? Because we want to help humans thrive where they are, building better communities. One way that we do that is the Elephant in the Room Unboxed, where we give our audience members the tools and the resources to have those uncomfortable conversations and do it in a humane and anthropological way. We're doing this in partnership with Respect Diversity, another organization that is committed to doing the work with us. Each episode will have a different host and a different guest talking about uncomfortable conversations or uncomfortable topics and giving you the resources of how to navigate them. Let's get uncomfortable. Well, hello, this is Suzette Chang. I am the founder and CEO of Thick Descriptions, and I get the cool opportunity to interview a wonderful human being. I will allow her to introduce herself. So Gulnaz, tell us your name and a little bit about you.
Hi, my name is Gulnaz Tabynbayeva, and I'm from Kazakhstan, and I'm so happy to be here in today's episode. So currently, as of recording this episode, I'm a Community Engagement Exchange Fellow working with Thick Descriptions. So it's a program where civil society leaders from all over the world can get experience to work at a nonprofit. So I was one of the lucky ones to get to work with Suzette and other all cool human beings here.
Oh, thank you. Very cool. Okay. And so you have been with Thick Descriptions now for about 3 months, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess it depends on how you look at it, your fellowship is coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
So sad about that.
Yes. So have you ever participated in a fellowship before?
So during high school, I was on a similar program called Future Leaders Exchange Program, sponsored by U.S. Department of State. So I was an exchange student at high school. Now this is a similar opportunity, but more on a professional level.
Right.
So I'm very glad to be back to the United States and have this opportunity to work here, to have more like professional environment, professional experience here now.
Wonderful. And so when you say professional experiences, can you unpack that? What does that mean for you?
The Community Engagement Exchange Program itself is a global network of civil society leaders from all over the world.
Right.
So we were selected among 4,400 people.
Wow.
So there are more like around 110 fellows from more than 80 countries from all over the world.
Nice.
So like seeing all other people who come from different backgrounds and seeing what they're doing in their communities, like they're tackling a very 21st century issues that are prominent and very important in their communities.
Right.
And we have this opportunity to work at nonprofit in the United States.
Yes.
So we can have like on first-hand experience how it all functions from the inside.
Right.
So we can have the experience and skill in order to implement our own project back in our countries.
Okay. You said that many different issues. What are some of those issues that you're aware of, you and your fellow, is it fellow fellows?
Fellows, yeah.
fellows are dealing with as it relates to 21st century issues?
At the fellowship, there are 5 main themes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's women rights and gender issues. Second one, open and participatory government.
Okay.
Third one is youth engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth one, civic engagement.
Okay.
And fifth one is like sustainable ecological issues.
Got it. So before we go a little bit deeper into that, tell me and our listeners a little bit about Kazakhstan.
I'm from Kazakhstan myself. So I originally my hometown is in the southwest of Kazakhstan. But for the past few years, I've been living in the capital of Kazakhstan, Astana.
Okay.
Introducing Kazakhstan, it's 9th biggest country in the world, geographically, and we are situated in Central Asia and in the heart of Eurasia.
Wow.
so I'm very proud and happy to be born in Kazakhstan because people there are very nice and very like hospitality is the main thing, I would say. So and the nature is very beautiful, and we have a very rich cultural background because of nomadic history, and also many since we're located in the heart of Eurasia, many different cultures and ethnicities live in Kazakhstan, and we're very I would say like very open to other cultures and other ethnicities. So yeah, that's one of the things. And since I've been here in Oklahoma, when I introduced Kazakhstan to other people, some of the people actually know Dimash, who is one of the famous singers from Kazakhstan.
Oh, wow.
And I was so happy to hear that because, yeah, like he's also... we are very proud of him. And another one of the prominent figures, I would say, is Gennady Golovkin, known as Triple G. He's a very famous boxer.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, he won many championships. And yeah, so I also found that many people here actually know him. So I'm very happy to hear that.
Nice, nice. And so you said that Kazakhstan is a nomadic culture?
Yeah, it used to be historically we used to be nomadic culture, but since we're like not anymore, but we still have like nomadic background and many nomadic traditions are integrated into modern culture. Okay.
I know we've had this conversation and I would love to have it again. Tell me about the food in Kazakhstan.
Oh, food, I would say, is it's most important part probably. So food is great because we eat mainly like meat is the main food, and one of the interesting facts is we have a main traditional food which is called bishbarmak, and bishbarmak. And its literal translation is 5 fingers, and you eat with your fingers to have a like full taste of the food. So it's made out of like meat and like noodles.
And you eat it with your fingers.
Yeah.
Wow. And I can relate to that growing up. More of my ancestors that are no longer with us, like grandparents and great-grandparents, watching them eat with their fingers too. It was very interesting. So to hear you say that, it's like, okay, there's yet something else that we can connect, even though we are from completely different geographic spaces.
Yeah, it's so interesting to hear that even if all countries are located in different places and people have different backgrounds, there are still so many similarities when you meet other people, and so that's so fascinating.
Agreed. So you have started a nonprofit, correct?
During my during my university years, I have actually co-founded, and I was the first president of student organization called Equality, which addresses gender issues and empowers women in Kazakhstan. So we had many projects. First we had big gender forums in order to raise awareness about gender issues. And we also organized many trainings as self-defense, sex education, women in STEM, etc. to have to give certain tools and knowledge to women and girls in Kazakhstan. So I after graduating from university, I have been also involved in women's sphere. So I worked as a coordinator of social projects at Association of Businesswomen of Kazakhstan. I also have experience of working at the UN Women and International Organization for Migration related to gender mainstreaming. So I've been involved in this sphere, and now I want to establish my own nonprofit and to expand the Equality's work throughout Kazakhstan and Central Asia.
And so you said that there's already work going on. Can you talk a little bit more about what that work looks like? Like existing organizations or existing missions, visions that are committed to women empowerment?
So yeah, as I have mentioned, we organized many. One of our big events is Equality Talks. So we mainly invite gender experts, prominent figures in the sphere to talk about ongoing gender issues in Kazakhstan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like a TED talk, but focused on gender issues.
Okay.
And people is main aim is to have this platform where people can discuss gender issues and spread awareness about that, shed a light on ongoing issues, so people will be more informed. So we until now we were established in 2019.
Okay.
So throughout these years we have organized 4 main equality talks, as I remember correctly, and we were able to gather more than 2,000 people.
Nice.
Yeah, so as a continuation, so we organize the small projects. So that's the work that has been done till now. But since COVID hit, we were not. The team that continued working on that, they were mainly doing it online, and now we want to continue it and expand it more.
Okay. So elaborate, if you will, on what are the top 5 gender issues in Kazakhstan for women?
My willingness to promote gender equality in my community came from the reality that I was living in. So I grew up in a post-Soviet country.
Okay.
So Kazakhstan got its independence in 1991.
Okay.
And there were still many inherited patriarchal traditions from that time. And also still there were many areas, rural areas, the areas that I grew up was mostly conservative.
Okay.
So from an early age, since I was a kid, I saw many discriminatory practices as arranged marriages and bride kidnapping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, where young girls were being kidnapped to get married, and they were not even asked for their consent.
Right.
So seeing that, I was very angered.
Yes.
And I was like a kid, and I didn't understand, I understood that it was wrong, but didn't understand what was the root of that.
Got it.
Nowadays, bride kidnapping is not such a widespread practice as it was.
Hear.
Yeah, so as it was used to be. However, there are still many practices, and there is not enough gender representation in the office, and women still one of the main issues is that domestic violence is not criminalized. And many survivors of domestic violence cannot get legal help and not fully supported. And so that's one of the issues that I want to tackle. So during my time, as I was working, I have been also involved in this area, and that's one of the things that I want to contribute to in order to advocate for.
Okay. So what does that look like for you as it relates to more equitable opportunities for women in Kazakhstan within the workplace? What are the programs that you would like to develop, if not execute, to make that happen?
So I would say that more or less nowadays women still can pursue any career that they want, but the most important thing is that they would feel safe in their workplace or even outside of the workplace. Even being equitable in the workplace starts from the household. So many women still they might get married after graduating from high school and not even pursue higher education or career.
Okay.
So I would say even if women have these tools and platforms to pursue a career, many women and girls cannot do that because of the societal pressure or family pressures that they might have. So I would say one of the ways to tackle that is to provide information to those women that they have many options, that they can pursue knowledge, they can pursue their careers, and it does not go against their traditions. That it's okay to have both family and a career. So I would say reaching out to those girls and young women and giving them tools and knowledge would be one of the first steps to have this more equitable workplaces.
Okay. Are there existing organizations that your organization, once you make it happen, could partner with?
Yeah, I would say there are actually many amazing non-profit organizations tackling these issues. So yeah, in Kazakhstan, is there like mostly now emerging civil society organizations are emerging now. So that's why like it is very important to cooperate and partner with other organizations to have more power, I would say, and to have more reach in society. So, and another important aspect is to, like, those organizations are mainly focused in big cities, like capital Astana or Almaty, which is the biggest city. So I would say it is very important for us to partner and to reach out to other regions, especially Kazakh-speaking communities who might not have enough content or knowledge or access to those information and knowledge.
And so I'm speaking this as if it has already happened, will happen. Once you have the organization set up and you are moving forward, and I understand the initial commitment is to provide access, provide information. Have you thought of other ways to transition it from access to execution? For example, providing information such as encouraging and informing young women that you do have choices. Would your organization be interested in creating programs of where they could exercise those choices? And if yes, what does that look like?
So yeah, I would say regarding the execution, we in the long term we want to actually establish these training centers where people, women who come from socially vulnerable backgrounds, probably could have those trainings to execute like working trainings as sewing, cooking, or like small trainings that doesn't take lots of time. So women actually can also have their small businesses, start working from home, even working online, so as it's like widespread now. So they don't always have to have like a diploma to do so, but having some vocational skills or just knowledge of working online, they can also do that. So yeah, I want to in the long run to establish such training centers where we will have experts, trainers who will teach those women, and they can have certificates and do their own job, even if they're home, even they're just housewives, they can just combine it.
Okay, all right. So, go ahead.
So yeah, another aspect I would say one of the issues is, like, as I mentioned, lack of content in rural areas, and it relates to the lack of content in Kazakh language. So when we establish and start working as a nonprofit, I want to focus more on Kazakh-speaking community. So this, like, having this information and trainings, all the project in Kazakh language would have more expansion in our like auditorium and reach out those people and women who did not have those information for a long time.
Got it. Sounds like a wonderful plan. Sounds like
Thank you.
a very wonderful plan. So I'm going to shift just a little bit and unpack, if we can, a little bit about you as a human being, meaning Gulnaz. So tell us a little bit more about you. So we understand that you're from Kazakhstan. You speak multiple languages.
Yeah.
What languages do you speak?
So yeah, my native language, mother language is Kazakh language, and I know I'm fluent in Russian, in English, and I've been also learning Chinese, so little bit of Chinese.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm fluent in three
in a few languages. Okay. And so now I'm going to shift this. So I'm going to do some shifting, because to me, the personal and professional are very much connected. Historically, and I say that because historically in the United States, there's been this belief that the two are separate, as if when you come to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, everything that you have addressed or dealt with in your personal life is supposed to just sit at the door, and then you take on this whole new identity, and then you go into work and you do what you do, and you smile and whatever, and then at 5 o'clock when you're off, that's when the work. And I know more so since the pandemic hit, it helped all of us understand more than ever that personal and professional are very much blended, very much interconnected. So providing that segue of, we talked about the different languages, and you have fur babies.
Yeah.
Tell us about your fur babies.
So yeah, I have 3 cats. They're all rescued, and they're currently living with my parents. And I really love animals, especially cats. And I think like in Kazakhstan, especially, like there is a lack of like support for animal shelters, and it's one of the like pressing issue also. Then I always try to help animal shelters or to rescue cats and be a foster. So yeah, but I really love my cats and I really miss them right now.
And I know in a previous conversation you and I had, and this was my limited information and maybe even a bias, my assumption was that fostering a four-legged loved one was an American thing. And having that conversation with you helped me to broaden my understanding that it was far more than an American thing. It's a Kazakhstan thing, and it's probably a global issue. So, and you are a foster mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how long have you been fostering four-legged family members?
Not that long. I fostered only 2 cats, and we were able to find them homes.
Okay.
So I was very happy to know that they now have loving families.
Okay. Okay. And so, what does fostering an animal look like for you?
So fostering, so 2 of them, we actually found them outside in the streets, and especially in Astana, it's very cold, and winter lasts from October till April. Probably we have lots of snow, and we found one of the cats in March where there was lots of snow, and I took him home. And we started looking for other families through social media and other ways. But I would say even like it feels great to have like to give this help to those little
fur babies.
Yeah, fur babies, and seeing the happiness when of the family who will take them later. But it's so sad because you get attached to them during the time, and afterwards it's so hard to give them away. But anyway, you will know that you'll have a loving family, and you have this like satisfaction that you did something good for that for a baby. Yeah.
Do you think so? Now I'm going to shift that into the professional. Do you think that'll ever be a component of your nonprofit, of having fur babies there as like maybe therapy for the women that are maybe going through some challenges?
Oh, actually, I've never thought about that because I kind of keep them separate. So yeah, because I still do help out animals, pets. But yeah, that's a great idea, and we might actually think about that in the future.
Okay. I know you and I, when we both have a love for fur babies, be it dogs, cats. Yeah, probably even more, but have we ever talked more than about cats and dogs?
Mainly cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs. And I bring that out again because it's personal and it can be professional, and it's something else that connects you and I is when you and I are together and we see, and like on our way here, there was a dog in the car sitting in the passenger seat, and I rolled down my window, and we're at the stoplight, and I'm talking to the dog, and I know the dog's name and the owner. Yeah, the owner is almost like non-existent. And for me, because today was a full day for me, having that conversation with the dog's name is Chicago. It was very therapeutic for me. And so thinking that might be something very helpful for your organization as well.
Yeah, that would be amazing, especially since many animal shelters, they struggle, and having like helping them and like maybe partnering with them. So that would be also amazing idea to implement in the future.
Okay. So we talked about your business. We talked about your fellowship. We talked about where you're from, and a little bit of the history about where you are from. Outside, and it sounds like, so delving back into the business component of it, it sounds as though that human trafficking is not an issue like it was, because when you were speaking earlier of women basically being told who to marry and when to marry, that is a component, at least here in the United States, we identify it as human trafficking or a component of it. Are there other issues that women are facing that you want your organization to address? So outside of, so the word empowerment is a big word. And obviously, it is your goal is to focus towards women. How else would you like to empower them outside of knowing that they can have a career and a family?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other areas that you would like to empower them?
So throughout my time working at Thick Descriptions, I've been. It was my first experience working with the kids, and I really loved that feeling. How kids would be excited about STEAM journey in camps and doing all the experiments. And I've seen that's also one of the aspects that I want to do, working with little kids. And especially, it's very important to nurture from an early age that girls can do anything and they can be anyone they want. They can pursue any job, any career. So that might be another aspect to work with schools to empower little young girls and to show them role models, not only in a typically considered woman job, but all other aspects, and show them that they can be anyone they want. So I would say in the future, we would also want to work in the education sphere and empower women to work in STEM, in other career aspects.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I know you and I've talked about the YWCA. And I bring that up personally and professionally, and so focus on the professional side. I know here in Oklahoma, and I would assume in other spaces, there is the YWCA, and they offer resources for women, and that includes housing for the women and their kids. And so this might also be another opportunity for your organization down the road of when you are working with women, especially those that have children, of identifying ways to keep the woman empowered and their kids. Do you think that housing might ever be something that your organization would offer?
Currently in Kazakhstan, we have similar organizations that they're mainly called crisis centers.
Yes.
And they help women who come from vulnerable backgrounds, survivors of domestic violence, to get a housing so they can maybe work there for some time, live there with their kids, and get mental support, financial support, and etc. And however, they still struggle because they don't have enough financial support. So I would love to also, in any abilities, to partner with them and to fundraise, have fundraising projects for them, and cooperate with them in any other projects that would be possible.
Got it. So, what do you like to do in your spare time?
So I have many interests. So one of them, favorite one, would be probably traveling. So even coming here during fellowship, I was privileged and fortunate to be able to travel. I visited New York, Chicago, and Michigan State. So I was very happy to explore, see other areas, and I've been to many European countries. Like Netherlands, Austria, Czech Republic, etc. And I really love diving into other cultures, learning about, say, history, and especially exploring and talking to local people, exploring non-touristy places gives much more understanding and background, and you feel as if you're part of that. Feel a little bit of the history, and always when I travel, it gives me. It always inspires me because it shows how the world is so big and there are so many opportunities to do, and that's the things that I love the most. And other than that, I also love reading books, knitting for therapeutic, as a therapeutic way. Just walking. So, but I have been struggling with that in the United States because there are no sidewalks.
That's right.
And it's
in
not
Oklahoma.
always safe to walk outside.
This is true.
Yes, but in Kazakhstan, I always like to walk outside in the parks, or if it's just nearby place that I need to go, I always, instead of having a taxi or riding a car, I just try to walk because it's always so relaxing.
Got it. And so you just brought something up that made me think of another conversation we had. So in Kazakhstan, especially in the community that you live, public transportation is it's sustainable. We're here in the metropolitan area of Oklahoma City. Our public transportation is getting there, but we're not there yet. What
Mm-hmm.
have been some of the pauses of being here in Oklahoma City as it relates to public transportation?
So yeah, one of the difficulties were just getting to work or
Yeah.
getting anywhere
Yeah.
because obviously we don't have a car here,
Right.
and taxi cabs are so expensive,
Yes.
and I always need to ask other people to give me a ride. So
Yes.
that's been a biggest struggle, I would
Yeah.
say, and especially like public transportation is not well developed. Like
Right.
once I took a bus to go downtown, and it took me almost 3 hours because I had to
Wow.
first walk and wait for a bus,
Wow.
and it takes so long.
Right.
So I hope it will be well developed in the future because not all people can afford to have a car.
Right.
So it's very important to make public transportation accessible for everyone.
Agreed. And I just want to pause on that for a moment just to let that resonate of one way, 3 hours
Mm-hmm.
with public
Yeah.
transportation. And so if you had access to a car, how long do you think it would have taken you?
Probably just 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oklahoma, we got work to do. We definitely have work to do. Okay, so you love animals. You talked about traveling and knitting. What else do you like to do?
I also love doing, as for sport, I've been doing fly yoga, and I noticed that it's
Wow.
not very popular here. It's kind of
No.
like another type of yoga, but you do that on a like rope. So it really helped me with my back pain, neck pain, and since I work in a more in the office all the time, and you need to be always sitting, so it really helps with get some exercise, and it's also very relaxing, I would say.
And it's called fly yoga.
Yeah, fly yoga or aerial yoga.
And so it's like you're suspended in air?
Yeah, you have the support of a rope, and you go into that, and it helps. It gives you base to do any kind of.
Wow. I'm having these visuals of your arms being stretched and your legs almost like from The Incredibles of Elastigirl. And I know that's not what you're saying, but that's what's going on in my head.
Yeah, it really helps with flexibility, and it's easy. I would say it's not really easy, but it gives you support, and it's very great way of doing sport.
So fly yoga, how long have you been doing it?
So for about a year.
Okay.
So yeah, but once I go back to Kazakhstan, I'm very excited to resume my trainings. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're right. I don't think it's very popular here in Oklahoma, let alone the United States. Maybe on the coastal states, I would think it would be popular, but probably not here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I haven't seen it that much here.
Okay. And we've also had conversations, and I think you brought it up earlier, that you've met a few people that are from Kazakhstan that are here in Oklahoma. At least one person is from Kazakhstan.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you two connect?
Prior to that, I've actually met people who worked in Kazakhstan, American people.
Okay.
So I was happy to hear that. And I've recently met some people from Kazakhstan who are living and working here. So it actually happened through Instagram, which is a
social
great
media
platform to connect with other people.
Agreed. And so what has that been like? I know you said it's been exciting. You all got to hang out. I mean, did it feel like you were at home, or were there still cultural differences?
Yeah, it's to a certain degree, it feels like home to meet other people because I finally get to talk in Kazakh languages with those people. So since I've been always talking in English with other people, communicating, it can be so exhausting. And talking in your native language with those people, I was so happy to do that.
Yes, because I could see how the translation in any two languages could get lost. You may
Yeah.
say the correct word, but the context may not be applicable in that conversation.
Yeah, totally.
I get that. I get that. Okay. Anything else you would like the listeners to know more about the organization you want to start, or excuse me, expand, about Kazakhstan, about IREX, CEE, anything else you want to share?
So I just want to personally thank you for this amazing experience. I was very like this opportunity to work at Thick Descriptions opened up to many opportunities for me. So especially I learned how like nonprofit functions inside and what does how system works, and it has been very useful. And this has been a great networking opportunity as
Good.
well. I've met so many amazing people. For instance, like the last episode talking to Bailey Perkins, it was so inspiring seeing how like just one person can make a great change, and they choose to give back to their community instead of like prioritizing their own comfort. So I've been very inspired by those people. And one of my favorite quotes I would say is like, "Be the change you want to see in the world" by Gandhi.
Yes.
So yeah, it shows like as even one person can make a great change.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's been an amazing experience to meet all those people and talk to them. And I'm very motivated to take all those knowledge and skills and to give back to my own community.
Good. And I am so glad that you brought up Bailey, because she is an amazing, I mean, all the people that we are talking to on this podcast are amazing. She is her own shining star. And I think a lot of it is because she is a native Oklahoman, has had experience outside of Oklahoma and made the decision to come back to Oklahoma and do the work. One of the good things and pauses about Oklahoma is there's a lot of opportunity to make sustainable change. And while there are many of us that have made the decision to not be here anymore because some of that change can be overwhelming, there's a lot of us that are making that decision to stay and do the work and do all that we can. So maybe in another 10, 15 years, things won't look like this anymore.
Yeah, that's very admirable, because even if we live, there are other people who might not have the opportunity to live. And especially there will be future generations that might be still struggling.
Right.
And I believe if we're contributing to solve certain issues and like even making a smallest change, it would mean a lot to the future generation.
Agreed. As you are saying that, I am reflecting on my personal and professional experiences of knowing that I am standing on the shoulders of some amazing humans who have done the work. Not too long ago, Oklahoma County, if not the state, I believe it was the state, I'm looking at Kyle as I say this, we participated in a vote and thinking of a time where my ancestors could not vote. So that's just one of many examples of being not just my ethnicity, but my gender. There was a time that women in the United States could not vote. And so knowing that by participating in that, I am not only exercising my right to share my voice, I am also helping them or reminding them that their efforts were not in vain, that all the sacrifices they made, I am able to do what they fought for. And so when you say that, it's making me think maybe 2-3 generations down the road, there might be some humans that say, because of Thick Descriptions, I was able to do ... And when you go back to Kazakhstan in a generation or so, someone can say, I am able to do this because of Gulnaz. Right. So I hear you. I definitely hear you.
Yes, that's really what motivates me to do those things.
I get it. Because a lot of times this type of work, that's something we could talk about as well as nonprofits, the assumption that a nonprofit is not a business. Truly, the only difference between a for-profit and a nonprofit is one doesn't pay taxes and the other does not. And outside of some legal components that are attached to that here in the United States, and I would assume throughout the world, the work still needs to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think there's any organization that gets up and says, well, I'm just going to do this because I feel like it. There's a mission, there's a goal from large organizations like Amazon to small mom and pops. They want to make a change. They want to make a difference. And having a EIN, meaning a tax ID number or not, for profit or not, the work still needs to happen. The work still needs to happen. Because us human beings, we don't do so well of treating each other like human beings consistently.
Yeah, especially nowadays, there has been so many like evil things happening in the world. And I think we need more kinder and good people instead of doing good deeds in the world.
Agreed.
That's what we need right now.
Agreed. That's something else I wanted to ask. So what are some of the current events that are happening in Kazakhstan?
Oh yeah, so with the war going on in Ukraine, with the Russian invasion, we have also seen the impact. As like in September, many Russians were fleeing to Kazakhstan after the government in Russia announced mandatory mobilization. But the government has been open in providing humanitarian help to Ukraine from the beginning.
Nice.
From the beginning, since the war started, and it started even with people just donating their clothing, food, money to help those Ukrainians. And even it also, I think it showed how Russia's impact in Central Asia is diminishing, because Kazakhstan and Russia has been allies for many years and for many reasons, because of historical background, and we share one of the biggest borders in the world with Russia, and economic relations. However, after the invasion to Ukraine, Kazakhstan has been open in not recognizing annexed regions in Ukraine, and Kazakhstan has been trying to kind of have independent foreign policy from that time on. So I hope that Ukraine will certainly win by this time, hopefully, and it shows how Russia's impact would also be diminishing in the region. I think in future time.
And I'm really glad we're having this particular conversation / topic. I personally don't see too much about Ukraine in the media anymore. And it's not suggesting that it's not happening. It's just, I know, to be fair, I know there's been so much going on. A lot of human beings not treating each other like human beings. And so, to be fair, there's only just so much time in the day to share information. And I know that when information does not stay on different social media or different radars, media or not, there's an assumption that it's not happening anymore. What's going on in Ukraine is still happening.
Yeah, so that's the thing that many I would say social media or even like media say do not show everything. Like it was maybe headlining when it started, but afterwards it was not anymore. But it's still ongoing work. And I would say like it is very important even to be informed about that to help in those situations.
Agreed. That's all I have, unless you want to share anything else.
Just thank you very much for having me here, and I had a great experience living in Oklahoma and working with thick descriptions, and thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Thick Descriptions Elephant in the Room Unboxed. Want to learn more about us, what we're doing to disrupt traditional educational methods? Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, thickdescriptions.org, 405-397-0584.